We have been waiting for the actual regulations that were going to be put out by Treasury when it comes to the announcement that we heard from President Obama back in December about the reestablishment of relations, because there were a lot of financial changes that were going to happen, and they have just come out this morning. We are told they go into effect tomorrow. So I believe that means that tomorrow will be the first time since 2004 that Cuban cigars will be permitted into the United States. Only $100 worth, which won't buy you many, but a significant change. There's a couple of other significant changes. Most of it's what we saw before. However, they've gotten a lot more explicit about the telecom equipment that will be allowed into the country. They've actually included software, and some people who read that suggest that because of all the issues with secrecy, etc., perhaps they're considering taking Cuba off the state sponsor of terrorism list. They've also said that Cuban exiles traveling back there will be able to bring as much as $10,000 worth of cash, provided it's going to humanitarian purposes, private endeavors as well. There's going to be questions raised by certain members of Congress about whether or not that is a violation of the embargo, because will that be indirect financing to the Cuban government, which is expressly prohibited under law. There's also what's called third country effects. If you're doing business outside of the United States, things have suddenly gotten a lot easier. If you're a bank who wants to do business with a Cuban national outside of Cuba, that's going to be controversial as well. From what I can tell, those are the most significant announcements there. Nothing on certified claims. Remember, U.S. companies have registered claims with the U.S. Treasury where they say they're owed roughly what would now be $7 billion worth from the Cuban government, which was seized due to property seized back in the 60s. No clarity on whether or not there's going to be anything related to that, nor on all the sovereign debt that Cuba has defaulted on as well. We know many hedge funds over in London own a lot of that debt because they expect that at some point they're going to have to do some kind of negotiation related to that. But for those travelers who are there right now and are going to be traveling back tomorrow, Carl, maybe we're going to see Cuban cigars arriving legally to Miami. We know they've been arriving illegally for a long time.